Hi, I'm Chris Wallace from Walnut Hollow, and today we're going to be talking about carving on pumpkins. Carving pumpkins is really fun, and you'll find pumpkins in every craft store that you go into, especially in the late summer, and you can get started then. What's nice is that you can carve very easily using the Creative Versa tool. It comes with a hot knife point inside the tool, and it's constructed so that there's two brads that are attaching the blade to the point itself, and then it screws into the tool. I have a Creative Versa tool here, and I just start, because it's not plugged in, I'm using my fingers. If it's plugged in, you want to always use a pair of pliers, and just simply use the pliers to attach the point and make sure it's nice and tight. And then when you plug it in, you're going to turn on the tool with a click and put it over into the red zone. All the different zones are different temperatures, and for hot knife cutting on a pumpkin, you want it to be into the red zone. So I already have one that's heating up as we talk here, so I'll put this to the side. So when you get your pumpkin and you try to decide what you want to put on it, you can look on the internet, and there's lots of designs that you can find for carving pumpkins. Some of them are the jack-o'-lantern type faces. Some are leaf type designs for the fall. You can always use cookie cutters, and that come in all different kinds of shapes, like bats and ghosts and spooky cats. Once you get your design that you want to put on there, you can also draw your own design if you want to do that. But once you get your design, you need to reduce it or enlarge it to fit your pumpkin. And I've reduced my design to fit. And here's the pumpkin that or the face that I have on here. I've traced it using transfer paper. And the transfer paper, you put it behind your design, the shiny side down. And then I use a stylus, or you can use a ballpoint pen to trace around the design. Because I wanted my eyes to be a little more rounded instead of a long oval shape, I just drew it how I wanted it to be. So you can always change the design, or you can draw it directly on there with a pencil or a marker pen. So this is already on here, and first I'm going to check my knife. Now this is hot, and I'm just making sure that it's nice and tight on here. If it gets loose because you're going around and creating circles, or after a while if it happens to get loose, just tighten it up with the pliers. I'm going to start with the mouth on here because it's easy to do the straight edge or the straight lines. And what you'll find is the slower you go as you're cutting through the foam pumpkin, the better it is. You don't want to rush it. It's just like carving into butter, because what happens is the heat from the tool goes through the foam or the plastic pumpkin, and then the knife part does the cutting. So as I cut through, and I'll show you how I actually take out a piece of the foam. Just stick the point in and pull it down, and as you pull it down, it just melts through the plastic. You can push these parts of the design into the pumpkin because you'll get them out later when you carve off the ends or the top or the bottom of the pumpkin. So you can clean up any spots that you need to with the knife. Again, just go slow, and you want to push the knife all the way inside. The pumpkin's not even 1/4 of an inch thick, so you see how easy it is just to cut away. Now that's making straight cuts. It's real simple. Just put the point in, let it penetrate the foam, and just work your way until you have the whole mouth complete. When you're working on a curve, you want to put the point into and penetrate the surface and just bring it around slowly. Don't rush it, and let the heat cut away. What's really nice with this hot point, you can cut other things too, like foam core board, and you can cut curves in the foam core board. Instead of having it chatter along, it just cuts nice and smooth. So just continue to go around, and if it's not cut all the way through, just take the point and go back in, and you can see I'm almost through here. And then I'm going to come back and clean up my edges. I like this eye being a little bit more rounded. So it's as simple as that. When you're working to take the top or the bottom off of the pumpkin so that you can put some lights in there, I've started cutting this one away, and I'll finish by putting the knife in. I just wanted to cut the bottom off of this one. You can do the same thing going around the top and lift that out, and you're ready to put a light inside the pumpkin. And you can set these out at Halloween if you want to have something for a longer period of time. Cut some pumpkins with fall designs. Leaves are nice, and you can find all kinds of shapes. So if you want to, the nice thing about carving your own pumpkins and not using real ones but using the foam pumpkins is that you can have them from year to year and keep adding new ones every Halloween. So have fun carving your pumpkins and set them out for the entire season. So that's all about carving pumpkins using the Creative Versa tool. See you next time.